All right, guys. So we're coming on late tonight for this live, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get it done. 30 days, 30 lives. So one of the most popular questions I get asked is about my why. What possesses me to do things? What possesses me to press through, to press on? And oftentimes, we're gonna go over a couple of different things real quick because the first thing that came to my head when this question was posed to me was they were asking me about what makes me keep going when other people would stop, or because of pain, or because of injury, or because of the things that I've been through. And they were like, it's very intrinsic of me. It's something that it seems to be something that I just think of. So I'm just going to kick this to you real. If I'm being totally honest, my suicidal ideation comes from boredom. I think about like the common life or the common things don't excite me. I don't get excited. I get excited for challenges. I want to press against struggle. I want to, like, I go and I look for something that's like impossible, or that's daring me, or that's going to push me, that's going to make me have to, that's what I crave. That's the same thing that keeps me away from drugs, and that what gets me to stop drinking, because like I know that if if I started doing coke, I would always need to get higher. Yeah, if anything that I do, I want to do more of it. There's never enough. I need If I get to enough, I need two more. I need three more. I need six more. I need to keep going. So that brings me to this, and it's why it never works for me. So like I've seen different things where people say define your why, define your vision, define your purpose. And one of my favorites was this guy, this coach. He said to sit there, and I want you to write a letter to yourself, and write a letter to yourself about everything that you want to achieve. Write your dream life out. Write your thank you. Write your dream life out. Write out what you want to happen, and once you do that, then what I want you to do is push yourself to get those things. What is that person, in order to get the dream life that you sit there and you crave, that you think you want? What is it that you need to do in order for you to get it? What did that person do in order to get that house, to get that Bentley, to get each one of those little pieces of achievement? What did they do? How did they get it? Well, you see, my thing was all those things. I don't care about getting a Bentley or a big house or any of that. I have those things don't excite me. Now, like I can have like a money goal where like having like $40 billion would excite me, just because of the challenge of getting $40 billion. However, that doesn't quite push me. And so when I coach people on their why, their vision, their purpose, based off one thing. And I don't look at the enormous goal, or the vain goal of what they want to achieve. Hi, Jennifer. I ask them, what is it, or who is it that you seek to impact with what you want to achieve? Because in truth, the strongest thing that you could ever have is when you recognize the people that count on you. My why comes from the people who count on me. The first person that ever counted on me was my mom. And that why pushed me over. That was my why. And to this day, that's my why. The first person to count on me was my mother. The second person to count on me was my sister. And every time I sit there and I think about that, that's my why. That's what pushes me. My mom would not sit up there. When I broke my legs, my mom asked me, okay, son, when are you going to compete again? She didn't sit there and think about that. When my dad was sitting in the hospital and they said, "Oh, he'll be able to keep his legs. My dad looked the doctor square in the face and said, "Oh, so he'll be able to train. He'll be back in the gym." And walked out of the thing. Everybody in the hospital. I had almost 30 people in the hospital after my first accident, and they all looked flabbergasted. The doctor was like, "What?" And my dad was sitting up there like he'll be able to train. Walked off and went and got food. That was all he needed. Because they know my why. My why is them. My why is each one of you that showed up right here. My why is the fact that I know that just by being me, the way that I show up every single day, that's my why. That's it. That is the most powerful thing I could ever do. And guess what? Nobody can buy it. You can't pay for that. That doesn't show up for free. So is it intrinsic? Yeah. It's intrinsic into the fact that like I know that in my head, in my heart of hearts, you can't buy this feeling. You only can look into yourself and pull it out. What is your why? For some people, it could be your children. For some people, it could be, matter of fact, one of my favorites growing up, I remember this story when Patti LaBelle, who just celebrated her birthday, turned 77, which is crazy because guess what? 27 years ago, when she hit her 50th birthday, she was the first woman in her family to reach 50 years old. Her sister died at 50, actually like 49. Her mom died, women in her family tended to die before 50 years old. So now she's 77. She just turned 77 a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago. That was a very powerful why. And the why she started taking care of herself and taking care of her health. Her why was that she wanted to live 1 year longer than her mom, 1 year longer than her sister, just because it was like something that just didn't seem possible for her family. And to a degree, yeah, it could sound selfish, but at the same time, all your goals are selfish. All those goals are for you. But you know what? They impact your family. They impact the people watching you. I remember watching that when I was a kid, and I was thinking, that was 27 years ago. And I thought, man, that is crazy. Nobody lived in your family past 50. When I had family members that were in their 70s, 80s, matter of fact, my grandfather right now is 93 years old, 94 years old. So, like, you're sitting up there, everything that you do, my why, like I said, my why is the ability, my why is the impact that I can make when I step out of bed this morning. When I sit up here right now and I'm sitting up here just trying to talk with my mouth like this, I know that people are looking at me and they're thinking, wow, he's still trying. He's still fighting. He's still going forward. You're damn right I am. I'm going to keep doing it every single day as long as I got a heartbeat. That's my why. That's it. I know my ability to impact others and my ability to impact you watching this video right now. Even if you could just take just one little bit of what I'm saying right now and you can go apply it to yourself into realizing that you can impact somebody else by being you. Your actions impact everyone else around you. Your choices impact everyone else around you. Somebody messaged me today and they were telling me that their weight loss made their friends and stuff feel uncomfortable. Well, there's two choices for those people. They can either decide that they want to do better for their health and get healthier, or they can sit up there and just accept it and then hate them for actually doing something to better their life, to better their health. Quite frankly, you shouldn't be around those people anyway. People will hate you for doing better. However, there are other people looking at you and you're doing better, you're doing greater, you're doing more for yourself. You're also doing more for those people watching you, more for your kids watching you, more for your family watching you. Because they see that it is possible if you so believe in yourself. Because most people don't. Most people don't have that little piece of information that says, I can do this. I can be better. Today, my therapist tried to convince me of how nice of a guy I am. And you know what? That's great. If I sit there and I take that in, that's actually the reason most narcissists don't go to therapy. Because they can go to one session and you can charm people into believing all the great things about you and they miss out on the other part. I have to be conscious of that because I have to want to be better. And by me wanting to be better, this allows me to go and push, to get stronger, to improve myself. So, that's my why. My why is my ability to get better, to help improve other people, to help improve the people around me, recognizing the fact that I can do better. I can be better. I can always be better. I can always be greater. No matter how much the pain I suffer or endure, the choice, the choice to accept that and let that keep me on the sideline, or the choice to stand up and say, you know what? I have people that count on me. I have people that believe in me. I have people that know what I'm capable of. That right there is the difference. That right there is what impacts other people's lives. That right there is what determines whether you are successful or not. And more importantly, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things and you consider your legacy, you consider who you are, who you want to be, who you want people to remember you as, what impact you want to make, and how those people feel what you're doing. I'm glad, Neho. Cause most time, what's crazy to me is I get DMs, I get messages from people. They're sitting there telling me how they're stuck or they're overwhelmed and they can't see, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I live my life. I know I live my life like a child. I do it on purpose because that's the life I want. But at the same time, I don't have obligations to children. I have dogs. I don't have obligations to anything else but my own selfish desires. But at the same time, I realize that everything that I do, my sisters look up to me. My mother looks up to me. My mom, when she went through her illness, she said, "My son won't just sit there and let me." My son just got up and started walking again. My mom sat up there. She had an issue with her health right after my car accident, stress and everything. She wasn't eating. Next thing you know, she was in a hospital with diverticulitis. And then she wasn't walking and so on and so forth. She was like, nah, she called me. She said, son, I'm in the hospital and it's real bad. They said I might not walk. Guess what? She got up. She decided that she was gonna get up. She told me. She called me on the phone and she said, if you get up and walk, I'm gonna get up and walk. You think my ass gonna sit in bed? My mom's sitting up there. She can choose to sit there and lay in bed and die, or she can get up and walk again. And then she partly said that, hey, if I got up, she'd get up. I sure as hell wasn't going to lay down. It was time for me to get out of bed. I started going to physical therapy 2 times a day. I started lifting weights in my room. I ain't sit there and go, oh man, my mom's in the hospital and I'm just gonna lay down. Fuck that. I got my ass up and I started training. I started trying to take a shower and stand up and walk around. I started sending my mom videos of me trying to stand up in my hotel room and try to get up from my wheelchair. No matter how much it hurt, I wanted to see her. I wanted her to see that no matter what, I was gonna stand up. So she better be trying just as hard as I am. And then you know what? By the time I got out in August, my mama sent me a thing. She said, "Guess what, son? I walked 12 steps today." It's always the choices that you make. They impact everybody else that's around you. People are looking at you. They're expecting you. They're expecting you to show them the way. You don't know it. You don't realize they're watching you. Yeah, some people sitting up there wanting you to fail. That's your choice to fail. but it's also your choice to be successful. Winners focus on winning. Champions focus on doing whatever it takes to get to the goal at the end of the day. Period. They don't care about anything else in between. They don't care who's in the race. They don't care who they're facing. They don't care what the obstacle is. The goal at the end is all that matters. Not just winning today, but winning, period. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you. I want you to sit up there. I want you to realize that your why is not isn't money. It isn't treasure. It's not a big house. It's not. No, the why. The truest why that you can have is recognize the impact that you have on everybody else watching you, good, bad, or otherwise. That's the legacy you leave behind. Always remember strength, purpose, passion. It's up to you. I'm gonna tell y'all good night. Neho, Chris, who else was in here? Lisa. Oh, John Taylor, you made it in here too. Jalen, Jennifer, Jazz. Y'all have a good night. John, dang, it's packed tonight. Thank you. Bye.